He knows what it is to pound people. Tippy top.
Live in the new kingdom.
Okay.
It's the Big Dumb Mouth Podcast. Now, here's your hosts, Midnight Mike, Joe, and Gretchen.
I get the 3 commandments for a foundation. The training, the prayers, the vitamins, brother. Ah!
Hey everyone, welcome back to another somewhat fun-filled podcast adventure. Hooray! Oh my God, where's my ring? There we go.
Was it somewhat?
Gretchen is over there on screen, yes.
I hate this place. Nothing works here. Medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years.
The new image feed isn't working yet, but...
No, the new image feed is not working. We have severe production difficulties. And
well, technically it was working during a test and then it stopped.
That's the way software works sometimes. Your beta test is configured in a way to showcase how awesome it is. And then when it comes time for actual deployment, it fails. That's what happened.
That's why I test in production.
Yeah, well, it surely would have failed then. At least it failed only for the first 5 minutes of the show. So there you go. So yeah, this is a somewhat fun show. Somewhat. As best as I could tell. I used to think we put on a somewhat fun show. I was unaware that sometimes it's not that fun, but apparently it is. That's okay.
Are you responding to that YouTube comment or whatever it was?
Yeah.
Or Instagram or whatever you got?
Yeah.
A hate listener yelling at you?
I don't know if it's a hate listener. Obviously, this guy listened for quite a few years. I personally think for the kind of show that we do, for like it's news, it's conspiracy, paranormal stuff, it's probably the most fun show of this genre, whatever this genre is. We do it. And the person was upset that Joe's not on the show, and he said since Joe is no longer on the show, the show OBDM is just now less fun. And I was like, okay, I'm not sure how that's possible. I continue to have fun regardless of who is on the show. That's just the way I am, and not many people or things get me down. Especially with these kind of topics. But he was directly talking about how, let's see if I can find the actual review. Because I just think it's like I don't mind criticism or talking about or taking suggestions. But this is what it says. It says, here's the headline: no longer fun to listen to. The lack of Joe absolutely kills the vibe of this show. It has devolved into Mike covering almost exclusively 2 invisible threats that we don't understand: aliens and AI. Then Cratchit wraps up with Jerry Springer-esque stories or weird fast food favored pies. I really don't think I've outgrown the show that 5 years ago I could have missed. I think the show has drastically gotten worse of late due to the lack of Joe and Mike's insistence on obsessing over aliens and AI and their looming threat. You guys made that April Fool's joke prank 4 years ago saying you guys were ending the show. It kind of feels like you actually did that with how you've changed it. Well, the show has basically never
We've done close
changed.
to 500 shows since then.
Yeah. And the show has basically never changed. The format has tightened up over the years, but really any article, any story, any content that is brought forth is just an avenue for people to get together, talk, and goof around. That is it. It doesn't matter if I'm talking about Seinfeld, UFOs, or fast food. It's just a vehicle to goof around.
You have always described the show as a mix between Art Bell, Howard Stern, and Opie and Anthony.
Yeah. And do I talk about UFOs a lot? Yes, I do. I cover other...
We're going to do it today.
Probably, yeah, because it's in the news. Do I cover invisible threats? Yes. and it turns out most of the threats in your life are invisible. Whether it is COVID, which is an invisible disease, is it made up, or a new virus that's coming along, invisible threat. Any other heart ailment or physical disease that you might get, it's typically invisible. As for the UFO threat and AI not being understood, well, part of understanding something is discussing it in maybe a public forum or with other people. That's how you can maybe come to some sort of conclusion or idea. And sometimes the more you talk about a threat, the less it becomes threatening, and you might be able to understand what is going on. I understand you missed Joe, but Joe talked about literally Israel and Charlie Kirk for 3 months in a row. I talk about UFOs for pretty much, not every show, but I would say every other show. It depends on the news cycle. Though that is basically our beat. And if you listen back to the history of the show, I've touched on it. Sometimes it gets varied. I think there's a whole period of a few months where I didn't touch on UFOs. I dove into other topics. So, but today, unfortunately, it is UFO day because Donald Trump issued an order to the Department of War to release the files, release the Kraken, and there's a bunch of news on that. So sorry. But
can I just say it is on the outset? I know we're going to talk about that in a moment. It cracks me up. I find it incredibly, aesthetically pleasing and yet still somewhat unbelievable that the URL for that release is war.gov/UFO.
yes, it's not UAP, it's UFO. And by the way, they didn't use aliens.gov or alien.gov. The domains that were procured that we were thinking would have been used for this release. No, they didn't. They just put it on a page over at war.gov. And it's not even... there's many complaints. There's many complaints. Okay, but we'll get there.
It's not 4K footage of bleep bloop shaking hands with Roosevelt.
Well, it's partially that. I'll get into it, but before we,
I will say on the outs back to the initial point about responding to this commentary. I still do the exact same. I literally use the same bookmarks I pull from these various sources I've curated over the years. Every time I prep the show, sometimes, yes, it is fast food news or weird flavored pies. Sometimes it is Waffle House fights, Chuck E. Cheese fights, and Spirit Airline fights.
Yeah. Right.
Sometimes it's about strange trends and things that are going on. I just look for things that tickle my fancy and assume it's going to tickle your fancy as well. So that hasn't changed. Sure, we'd love to have Joe on more. Joe has a new job that requires a huge amount of his time. And it basically he doesn't want to stand in front of the computer more than he has to, and so he literally leaves his house and goes out and rides bikes and punches homeless people and whatever he's doing out there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, I think we had a very good run there for many years with the three of us doing three very different segments, but the show has always been paranormal, conspiracies, and then current events, politics, and then we wrap up with strange and oddball news. That's the way it's been for 7+ years. So
I get people upset that stuff changes, but this just shows you that life can throw you a curveball, and you don't always get what you want sometimes, and either you roll with it or you crumble and cry and you curl up into a ball, which I've done all of those things before, and we will persevere.
This morning.
Yeah.
Right.
But it is, real quick before we get into the news, it is Mother's Day tomorrow. We love our mothers. At least I hope most of us do. I love my mom.
Call your mom if you haven't. Call her today or tomorrow. If you don't have a mom,
I do.
Call somebody else's mom.
I love my mom. She was a great mom growing up. Just, you can reflect on that stuff a little bit when you're, late 30s like I am. You can reflect on, I'm being generous, late 30s. I can pass as late 30s, can I? I think so. Some people say I can. Some people can. Some people say I can.
Here I am in my turning 21 this year. It'll be great.
But in honor of our mothers, if you love them, I hope you do. We will play this little clip from Mr. T.
A message from Mr. T.
treat her right. M is for the moan and the miserable groan.
I like that snare sound.
Drum machine.
I like that snare. It's really pronounced.
Where she stood making sure I had something to eat. T is for the time that she stayed up nights and took my temperature when I wasn't feeling right. H is for the heart.
All right, that's enough. But now I understand what's going on here. That voice, Mr. T's voice, it sounds remarkably familiar.
Have you seen the movie Pinocchio?
Yes, I think Alex Jones is doing a Mr. T impression. That's what was going on back then.
It's too bad his music career never took off.
I love Mr. T. He was an icon. One of those rare...
He also was one of those guys, he tried to do things... He tried to leverage his fame for good messaging. He was always talking about, drink your milk, eat right, take care of your mother. It's very different message than you get these days from celebrities.
Yeah, it is. And he was iconic back in the 80s. Same with Hulk Hogan. And Hulk Hogan had the 3 Demandments.
I get the 3 Demandments for a foundation. The training, the prayers, the vitamins, brother.
Hulk, he forgot the 4th Amendment, which is probably steroids. I don't think Mr. T was dealing with that. I hope not. But yeah, you're right. Mr. T was a family-friendly guy trying to put out positive messaging. I don't know if that Mother's Day rap really broke through the way he hoped, but it's iconic, and we hope Mr. T is doing okay. Now, we should probably talk about UFOs, the invisible threat that is not so invisible anymore. Not really. Not so invisible. I mean, they put out some videos, so that's something. I'll bring this up on screen. So, Pete Hegseth, Trump's minion over at the Department of War, his little minion, decided to stay up late and code some HTML pages and put this up on his website. But really, it looks like, if you look at this, if you go to war.gov /UFO, it looks like Claude Code built this for him, and I suspect that's what's happened. I took a look at the HTML and the background JavaScript. I just look at the UI. I was like, oh, Claude built this. And here's the statement on this page. Based on the tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomenon, and unidentified flying objects, and any and all other information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. God bless America. That was what he said. He issued the order, and people followed suit for the most part. And you can go through here. There is a good number of files. So there's PDFs, and then if a PDF mentions a video, you got to look at the PDF file and then go find the corresponding movie file. Not all the movie files are linked to the document. There is old FBI files in here, FBI files that mention UFOs or maybe a sighting from the 40s and 50s. There are... I think a good number of these documents have already been released or leaked before. Some of them have been out. So I think this was they just dumped everything that they've deemed as appropriate.
I was going to say unclassified or publicly accessible.
Yeah, I didn't see anything here that was so far. I haven't seen anything that was bow shaking. Earth-shattering. I haven't seen anything that is going to, I think, change any skeptical mind. This is kind of like how they did with the Epstein files. When they invited a bunch of people out, they gave them a bunch of binders, and it already had publicly released information. That's kind of how this feels. This is like that all over again. This is the stuff they have laid around.
What about the photos from the moon?
The 3 dots, I'm not impressed.
Well, stop stepping on my racket every time you guys bring up a picture of a quote-unquote orb flying by that's clearly a water drop on a lens.
But these, that is, maybe 2K
I'm
video.
just saying
We're not even getting 2K.
We haven't seen that. So
Yeah. So it's out there. People can look at it. So there is some salacious headlines related to this, and I'll bring up this one. So I'm kind of obviously people. I wasn't holding my breath that we were going to get some amazing revelation here. It appeared to be some sort of whitewash. They, I think, missed one deadline. It did appear as though these are the documents they found laying around that were not controversial, and it didn't really matter if they released them or not. Some of it is publicly known. A lot of the video is obscure enough that you could easily say what is in the video is a drone, it's a balloon, it's a bird, it's swamp gas. There is enough doubt to where people just go, oh yeah, okay, fine.
Balloon.
I mean, there are some interesting claims in there when it comes to some of the reports by the FBI and maybe even the Apollo 11 missions when it comes to the transcripts of what they were looking at. But that has all been explained away decades ago, and there's no new smoking gun. But I'll bring up this article right here. This is from the Daily Mail, who will not miss an opportunity to turn, I would say, a mostly benign release into a scandalous headline. But here's that.
They got to sell papers.
They
That's
do.
what they do.
Yeah.
The British tabloids are best in the world at coming up with eye-catching headlines.
And here it is. UFO files reveal jaw-dropping claim of secret flying saucer capable of reaching 1,500 miles an hour built by the Nazis.
Man, I got mixed emotions about this one.
Yes, a trove of deep...
Like in World War II or the Nazis in Ukraine?
I think they're talking about World War II.
Yeah.
A trove of declassified FBI documents has suggested that the Nazis secretly developed saucer-shaped aircraft capable of hovering motionless in the air. The bombshell documents released Friday. They said bombshell, not me. This was them.
Not triple bombshell?
This I think we're just going to get one bombshell here, but it is the Daily Mail. I want to see how many times they use the word bombshell in this article. Let me see if I can find. Typically, you don't want to use it more than twice per article.
You want to use up all your bombshells?
Okay, I have it. They have it. I did just a Control F. They used the bombshell 7 times in this document. So that might be a little excessive. I don't know, but the bombshell documents released on Friday as part of the Trump administration's UFO disclosure initiative detailed interviews with a man identified as Paul L. Pryor, who stated he worked around a top-secret government weapons project involving disc-shaped flying craft. According to the files, Plyer told the FBI observers a saucer-shaped vehicle approximately 50 feet in diameter with a dome above, while assigned to a classified project in the Black Forest region of Germany in 1943, 2 years before the Second World War ended. He was there hanging out, working on this thing, and a newly released memo stated the object was radio-controlled and equipped with multiple jet engines mounted around the exterior of the craft. Well, that's incredible.
Bombshell, bombshell, bombshell.
Is he saying like oriented as a saucer? So it's oriented in a so it's spinning it? Is that what it's doing?
That's what my imagination conjures up.
I would not want to ride in that thing.
That they just strap some jet engines to this thing, and then we've got a UFO.
If they say, yes, we can go faster than, Mach 10 or whatever, but you have to be spinning incredibly fast to do it.
Well, this guy claims that the aircraft could rise vertically, maneuver sideways, and hover motionless in the air before reaching reported speeds of 1,500 miles an hour up to at altitudes up to 40,000 feet. According to this person, the object was designed and engineered by scientists working for Germany during World War II, the FBI reports. This might be maybe one of the more interesting things because like if we did grab this craft and then figure out what they were doing, maybe this is what was going on when the UFO or something crashed in Kecksburg, Pennsylvania. It's called the Kecksburg Acorn. And is this the Nazi bell?
Nazi bell.
Yeah, is this the Nazi bell that they're referring to, the long rumored The urban legend, Nazi Bell, is this it? Maybe. The file further claims the saucer-like craft was part of a secret Nazi weapons program developed to attack Allied forces near the end of the conflict. The startling allegations were among hundreds of newly declassified records, photographs, and videos uploaded Friday to the Department of War's website under President Donald Trump's long-awaited UFO transparency order. And there it is. Here's like the actual document. But this is just a FBI memo of who they talked to. The FBI wrote it down and then filed it. I don't know if there's any fact checking on this.
We can read about it.
Yeah, was it fact checked? Unknown. Did they actually go and get this saucer? Unknown. And the FBI back in this day, back in the 40s and 50s, they talked to a lot of people that claimed to have interactions with people coming out of saucers, talking to people on the planet Venus. They wrote down those memos too, and those are filed away and can be read about.
Read about it.
The documents were dated June 8th, 1967. The originator from the FBI's Miami field office, which forwarded this man's claims to the FBI headquarters in Washington for review. One internal memo described this guy appearing genuinely concerned about the existence of vehicles of alleged Nazi origin operated since November 1944. The report also noted that the FBI decided to forward this information to the United States Air Force because of increasing public interest surrounding UFO sightings during the 1960s. According to the files, this person's first approached the FBI in 1957 after attempting to contact the CIA regarding this alleged knowledge of mysterious aircraft. Well, what's this guy? Okay, this guy claimed he worked there. And then, so he got to the United States after the war, a former Nazi scientist, so that's possible. But why wasn't he working on some program? Did he just get squirreled over here? And then he had this knowledge and the government lost track of him?
Did he, I missed at the beginning, did he say he worked on the project or was simply aware of it?
I think he's aware.
Because Operation Paperclip snapped up all the Nazi scientists they could, but maybe this guy wasn't of that. Maybe, he's a technician or something there, or he's, whatever. So
this guy said he observed this object while assigned to a classified project in the Black Forest.
He could have been mopping floors for all
we don't know. Yeah, he could have been a janitor, but that's a very important job too. It's just, I doubt they needed during Project Paperclip, you'd sweep up the Nazi janitors. But they probably are pretty efficient.
Get the janitors too.
Why not? So how does this end up? While UFO transparency advocates hailed the Nazi saucer file as one of the most bizarre revelations released so far, skeptics caution that the documents largely reflected unverified witness statements rather than independently confirmed evidence. And unfortunately, I got to go with the skeptics here. I do. I don't want to, but I have to. Government officials have also repeatedly warned that the release of historical UFO files should not be interpreted as confirmation of extraterrestrial life or advanced non-human technology. So be careful. Just because they're releasing something doesn't mean they believe it.
Well, like I said, I think this is they grabbed everything they have that they don't deem as requiring classified access to be able to read. And they basically said, okay, anything that falls under that, just release everything.
I'm not familiar with the classification system when it comes to documents. A lot of the documents I saw on the .gov website, they were marked as confidential and not necessarily classified.
Let's find out what the difference is: confidential versus classified.
And so
there's
it's
also restricted. There's eyes only. There's all these different designations.
I saw a lot of documents that were marked confidential, which is way different. Like that seems like, okay, if this leaks out, it's not a big deal. Whereas classified is big deal.
Classified must be stored in a secure location.
Okay.
And then within that are the classifications of in order of classification: confidential, secret, and top secret. And there's probably ones beyond that, hard to say, or ones within that rather. Confidential says confidential generally deals with military strength and weapons and military deployments.
Okay, so
but apparently after I'm just reading through this. Apparently after they those are timely. So after the information in that has been, has been needed, used, whatever, then it's released or destroyed. And there's secret, there's top secret. So yeah, it's hard to say.
So confidential, you can store those in a closet. Classified, stored in Joe Biden's garage next to his Corvette. That's where you store those classified ones.
But by the way, my Corvette's in a locked garage.
Yeah, it's locked.
Well, my garage is locked too. Doesn't mean I put classified information. All right, so we have top secret, secret, confidential, restricted, controlled, unclassified.
Yes, as well as my
there's a
Corvette.
whole bunch of these. So I suspect anything below a certain threshold. And there's also statute of limitations on these things. I mean, we need to classify this for 25 years or whatever. So this one coming out about World War II that the FBI says they interviewed this guy in the 60s.
Yeah.
So, okay, fine. It was 60 plus years ago. Here you go.
I take classified documents and classified material seriously.
Sort of.
Yeah, so that's what we got. And I have my guys that I go to that I trust when it comes to this information. So like Dark Journalist, I like him. When it comes to like the secret history of UFOs, and then I'll look at Black Vault. Black Vault, John Greenwald does a great job when it comes to like straight up FOIA requests. And I trust his assessment on this release. And he was like, I've seen a lot of these documents before. And by the way, I have FOIA requests still active, and I know where these documents are that aren't being released. And I've offered this information up to the Department of War or whoever else cares. Like, he knows where the documents are because they've been denied, and those aren't being released. And so I trust his opinion on these matters. We're not getting it. Now, other people have said that, hey, this is just the first volley in many
that
releases.
Could be too. I mean, alternatively, we could get none of this. So
yeah, we could. But the real important question here when it comes to this release, Gretchen, is what does Tom DeLonge think? And Tom DeLonge, you might know him from Blink-182. He was a leader, a thought leader.
Allegedly helping to kidnap that general.
Yes, unconfirmed, but we suspect that he did try to kidnap that general who's now missing. Tom DeLonge has come out and decided to give his thoughts on this most recent release of this information. And, he probably, I think for a while now, after joining Blink-182, he felt kind of vindicated after his 10-year diversion, his 10-year quest to get to the bottom of this UFO phenomenon. But here he is. Bring him up on screen. Let me see here. Come on, Tom. Come on. It's
big drop of a bunch of government documents on unidentified aerial phenomena today. Just wanted to put out my own kind of perspective on this.
Listen to ragtime music.
This is a tremendous thing that's happening, I think, for a bunch of different reasons. Number one, the government is now formally doing stuff. They're formally investigating it, formally reviewing it, formally putting it out. Especially that one of the videos looks like a North Star. I think that's one of the most shocking things I've seen in a long time. We've never seen a UAP actually look like that.
Because it's a lens flare, dude.
Excited. I'm really proud. And I think that the net that they are casting right now, they're really getting things done, and the government's taking this seriously. And I'm still very connected to the subject and to a lot of people working on this, and I feel really good about it. I'm really optimistic that this is going to lead to more investigations, to more review. We're never going to get the perfect thing just presented to us on a plate. But this is the process that happens over years, where they keep digging and digging and digging, and they get to the truth of it all. And I don't know. I'm just really, really stoked. I'm really, really proud that the country's leading like this in this subject area. Right on. All right. Stay tuned for more.
Right on.
And he does look good. He looks like he dropped some weight. He is back out on tour, so good for him. He feels some vindication here. And, yeah, maybe it is a step in the right direction. At least we're getting something. I don't know.
Well, and to be fair, and, he has a big, presence social media-wise and others. So if he's bringing some celebrity attention to this, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just get nothing but Lou Elizondo up there.
Yeah, that's correct. And so the star UAP that he's talking about is up on screen, and it does look like some sort of lens flare to me. I'm not an expert, but that's what I'm guessing it is. It just looks like a lens flare. That's my best
Joke's
guess.
on you. It's a perfectly star-shaped craft.
Well, if that's the case, then this is absolutely terrifying. But I suspect it is some sort of lens flare. It could be a genuine UAP or UFO, but I think there is a lens flare there. No aliens yet. Nothing that was earth-shaking. Nothing that the religious community, I would think, would have to worry about in this most recent release. So maybe that's yet to come. We'll find out. But we have more invisible threats to worry about here coming up. Yes. I'm going to try to make this more fun, people. I'm going to do my best to make everything more fun. As best I can. I was always accused growing up of being a good time Charlie and goofing around too much. But apparently, I got to try harder. And I'm going to
call yourself a good time Charlie?
Yes. My mom used to call me a good time Charlie all the time. Like, I just wouldn't take things serious.
Are you going to take the trolley downtown and get some Cracker Jacks at the baseball game? Is that what next year?
Yeah, maybe.
That's some grizzled 1890s prospector jargon you just dropped there.
Well, we're going to transition to some geopolitical news. We're going to get up to date with what is going on the war front. We haven't talked about the war in quite a while. Do you know what war I'm talking about, Cratchit? There's quite a few going on.
Which war? How many wars?
Well, there's quite a few wars going on. And this one is the Ukrainian war.
Is that still going?
Oh, yeah. So Ukraine, here's the headline here. Ukraine set to unleash 25,000 robots to the battlefield as frontline cavalry in war with Putin. Yeah, so this is happening. We got...
How long until we just have wars that are drones versus drones? It sounds like we're right on the cusp of that.
Yes, Ukraine's unleashing 25,000 frontline robots here. So Kyiv is on course to manufacture 25,000 unmanned ground vehicles, or UGVs, in the first half of 2026 alone, as commanders increasingly rely on robots. Oh yes, and look at these things. These things are like mini tanks. They got tank treads. They got basically, I think, looks like a couple RPGs strapped to them, and probably like a radio controlled device to get these things out there, like ground drones. We're talking about ground drones.
These are the little, what were the G.I. Joe bats or whatever? The toys from the early
trouble
80s.
bubbles, the bubble troubles.
No, not those.
Okay.
Oh, they had a whole little set of these, and they had a little name for them, for these little drone things, and they had little tank ones, little plane ones, and all that stuff. And what the heck were these called? I'll look it up.
Okay. Well, these futuristic machines are capable of laying mines, evacuating wounded troops, delivering supplies, and even attacking enemy positions. All right. They already are transforming the battlefield, with Ukrainian leader Vladimir Zelensky revealing that a record 10,281 resupply and evacuation missions were carried out by these vehicles in April, compared with just 2,900 in November. That's a big deal. One of the most recent missions happened in Novoselica in the Donbass region. Showed how quickly the technology is changing combat. You got to really give it to these Ukrainians. They have stuck in the fight. They are
horse shit. They are getting 110% funded by the U.S., by Germany, by NATO. If that funding gets cut off, Ukraine would have rolled over in weeks.
True, but they're still fighting. They're still out there doing it. They are coming up with ways to come up with robots or drones. They're putting up a fight, regardless of funding.
Well, they started
fighting
it, so they better do something about it.
They're doing it.
But 100% started by Ukraine in 2014. Go look it up.
They're fighting.
Fuck them.
However, after operators spotted 3 Russian soldiers nearby, here. Okay. One mission. Okay, so a ground robot was sent across an open terrain and placed anti-tank mines on the bridge before Russian troops could swoop in on it. However, after operators spotted 3 Russian soldiers nearby, they changed course and detonated the mines, killing the troops and sacrificing their bot. So a suicide bot. Ukraine's elite 2K brigade, based 4 miles away, considered the loss of the machine to be a minor issue. So,
it doesn't cost you a person, but Ukraine's also killed like 3 million of its own troops by just throwing them into the Russian meat grinder.
It's crazy. It's somehow this thing is still going on.
According to CBS News, Ukraine, 1 guy stubbed his finger, and they've killed 27 kajillion Russians.
Yes. Let's see. So the brigade also experimented with flamethrowers mounted on the robots and attaching captured Russian rifles to some of the machines. So they said these the hybrid engines combining electric and conventional fuel, so they would increase the robots' range from 30 miles to around 90, allowing them to strike deeper into enemy lines. So
they're basically driving a little lawnmower into... well, technically, I guess still into Ukraine, but anyway, they're driving
behind enemy lines,
with a gun attached to it and shooting at people.
Pretty much, aren't like this is not what I pictured as robots. You picture a robot, a traditional like bipedal Terminator humanoid kind of thing, humanoid kind of thing. These are just, I guess they're technically robots, but I imagine that they're being steered much like a drone.
Yeah, it's a radio control car. There's drone implies some level of autonomy, which is why when we refer to the the quadcopters and things, those are drones in the sense where they can maintain altitude, they can maintain direction and things kind of by themselves, and the commands you're giving it are just kind of directional, but it's doing the flying. So these things, they don't need that because it's sitting on the ground, obviously. So these are just radio control lawnmowers that they've attached mines to go blow up shit. Mm-hmm. What's your source on this, by the way? I'm curious.
That came from Gizmodo.
Oh, that's straight propaganda. That's where I get all my war news from.
Well,
still looking for the name of these damn... There was a G.I. Joe playset, and they had like these little tanks. One had guns, one had rockets, and there were these tiny little unmanned little autonomous
Are you thinking of the Dreadnoughts?
No. That was Zartan's little...
Zartan's mercenary group from the Bayou, yeah. They were pretty badass. They had a rock song, too.
They did?
Yeah, the Dreadnoughts rock song? Of course they did.
Oh, I do vaguely recall that.
All right,
they would sing going into battle and sing their own song?
Yeah, G.I. Joe, Zartan.
Right, look, I got 3 chat rooms open, and no one's giving me the name of the G.I. Joe toys.
Zartan music video. Yeah, right here. Cold Slither. Yeah.
Action! Action! Cold Slither, you'll be joining us soon. A band of vipers playing our tune. With an iron fist and a reptile's hiss, we shall rule. We're tired of words, we've heard it before. We're not gonna play the game no more. You tell us what's right, you tell us what's wrong. So learn to resist, cause Cobra is strong.
Oh, this is a great piece of music that we can redo with AI. There we go. That's an awesome song. Yeah, that's who's fighting in Ukraine now.
Yeah, it's just the Dreadnoughts.
Hey, they might win it for either side. Hire them. Zartan, don't mess around with them. Okay, we're going to move on, and we're going to figure out if we can identify if the apocalypse is happening or when it will happen.
Is this another apocalypse or the same other apocalypse?
This is the same slow rolling apocalypse that we're tracking. And by the way, I built a tracker. You remember a few weeks ago, we talked about that 4chan release?
Yeah, you wanted to see where we are in the timeline for that.
Yeah. So what I did, I built a little site, a little automation script with Codex. And Codex is basically ChatGPT's version of Claude. And I had it, I fed it that release, which is 5 phases, and there's probably like 10 bullet points per phase. And I said, go out, look at each phase, look at each bullet point, and find correlating news stories that would align with each one of these bullet points per phase. And it pretty satisfactorily says that we are in phase 1, definitely at the end of phase 1. And I have a cron job to have it go out and search for news every morning at 9 a.m. to update the bullet points if we happen to move into phase 2. And so far, we are not moving into phase 2 at all. That's
good, right?
Yeah, that's good news. We don't want to be moving any further past phase 1, which is pretty much where the Strait of Hormuz is in a deadlock situation. Yeah, there's fluctuations in gas prices, but it's not skyrocketing. Yeah, gas prices, oil prices have gone up. Maybe some people consider that to be skyrocketing, but I would say skyrocketing is like a doubling of price.
It's hard to say how you define that, but it's up significantly for me. It's like 50 or 60%. Right?
Yeah. Oh, it's not cheap. No, it ain't cheap at all. Let's see here. It ran this morning 3 hours ago. And
the name of the G.I. Joe toys, Pack Rats. I put a link in the Carrot Shop.
Great.
Which is exactly what we just described that Ukraine invented. So anyway.
So I have this World War III prediction phase watcher. I've been thinking about releasing it as a website if people want to track it. I don't know.
That would be cool, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I can push it out
We
there.
could host that over at factcheckgov.com.
Yeah, I can push it out if people want to.
Or Croncho.com. I don't know which one you want.
No, we don't want to pollute the good brand of Croncho with World War III predictions.
Nutritious snacks.
Yeah. So the last thing it said this morning was we are still comfortably in the last parts of phase 1. No indication of moving into phase 2. So that's good. In phase 2, for people, if you don't remember, that means that the Pacific Theater is opening up there and there's more conflict going on in the Pacific region with China.
Related to that, we did hear that this week from Emmanuel Macron, who said basically NATO and Europe needs to stay out of the Pacific.
Interesting.
Which is, I think, how would you best phrase this? I don't know. An olive branch, that's not the right term, but basically a signal to China that if they do move on Taiwan, Europe ain't doing anything about it.
Yeah, we're not moving in.
China.
Yeah, basically the CFR article I read maybe about a year and a half ago, which is Council on Foreign Relations, said it's best if the United States just doesn't do anything in regards to Taiwan. And it looks like that's what's going to happen. Like, we're going to allow that to take place. So, okay. I guess that's something.
Oh, well.
But how else can we track the apocalypse? Well, thankfully there is a new method. There is a new method to track if we should start crapping ourselves. If you need to know when to crap yourselves, we now have a tracker, new tracker.
That's a step beyond bowel shaking.
Yes, this is pants filling. But here we go. Here's the headline here. Can tracking private jets predict an imminent apocalypse? One site thinks so.
Okay.
I do like this. This is an interesting little hypothesis. Yeah. Tracking
an interesting data point.
Yes, it is. I'm going to include this in my my prediction tracker. I'm going to throw this in. So tracking the private jets of rich people has been a thing for a while, despite the best efforts of the plane's owners to stop it. But artists and developers, such as Kyle McDonald, has come up with a novel use for the data, using it to predict the end of the world. Come on, people. Isn't this fun? I know that we had some criticism that the show's not fun anymore, but come on. This stuff is fun, don't you think? I don't know what to... I'll try to punch it up, this fun stuff over here.
Yeah, just use lots of cartoon sounds.
Yeah, there we go. I'll do my best to punch it up as best I can. The reasoning behind McDonald's site Apocalypse Early Warning is twofold. A, if a nuclear apocalypse is imminent, the rich and powerful will hear about it before the rest of us. And B, if those people do get word that the missiles are en route, they'll most likely jump on their plane and fly as far away from major cities as possible. Hard to argue with either of those premises. Yeah.
That's right. Zuckerberg has that huge bunker in Hawaii.
Yeah.
You've had quite a few people building these massive compounds in places like New Zealand.
Mm-hmm. And it's even, I think, Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, ChatGPT, he's even come out and said that he talks to Peter Thiel and that they have a plan. Is it Thiel or Thiel? Thiel. Well, he talks to Peter Thiel, and that if pardon my language, if the shit is about ready to go down, they are going to get on their planes and head to New Zealand.
Peter. I'm reading about it now. Peter Thiel has a quote unquote luxury lounge, but luxury lodge. But he has a compound in New Zealand. Zuckerberg has that place in Hawaii. Mm-hmm. Altman has a ranch somewhere in the continental U.S., not sure where. I'm guessing someplace in California that he can get to. But to your point, if shit's going to go down, these guys are going to bug out. And so if you're tracking that, that's a good indicator.
Yeah, and I believe Bezos has a fort or some sort of abbey at the south end of...
Abbey?
Yeah, he's got an abbey. It's not easy to get one.
Home of an abbot?
Yeah, he's got an abbey.
Next to the prioress?
It's in the Southern Rockies, I believe. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but search for that.
I'm going to look it up. Let's see. So Jeff Bezos,
Abbey.
Giant Eye, bunker.
Yeah,
his bunker.
The sites put these ideas into practice by accessing the public FAA registration data for what it calls a fixed cohort of business jets, roughly 11,000 aircraft at the date of publication, and a cross-referencing with real-time flight data. So there you go. I like this as an early warning system. If you see like all private jets like simultaneously like leave New York City, that's to me an indication. And it's like, okay, I'm on board with this person, and now we're going to use this.
By the way, I don't know if this is deliberate or not, and I'm kind of thinking based on who he is that this is deliberate. So Jeff Bezos has been referring to his new mansion in Miami. If you recall, famously, he moved to Miami because Florida does not have personal income tax. So he moved there for lower taxes. He has been referring to his mansion as his billionaire bunker. And he did a bunch of news pieces about that, which means he's, what's the term for that when you salt Google with a lot of the wrong terms so you can't search for the other things?
It's just CEO or SEO pollution or something like that.
Search pollution sort of thing. So now it's difficult to go search for Jeff Bezos' bunker because all it does is bring up all these stories where he talks openly about his mansion he calls his billionaire bunker.
So now
that could be just a coincidence, or it could be a very, very clever, again, based on who he is, way to kind of hide any information about that.
Possibly. I think he does have something in the Rockies.
I'm sure he does, but now it's tough to find.
Yeah.
He's building a quote. So there's other thing. He's building quote unquote a 10,000-year clock. In a mountain in West Texas.
That's handy.
That would also be good coverage for him to be building something else in there because he could say, oh, no, it's a special clock so we can see what's going on. Like, why would you be building that?
He likes clocks.
He's a clock guy.
Let's see, how does this article wind up? This does raise questions about what to do with this information clearly, there's not much to do with this information other than maybe it allows you to get home, maybe to talk to your loved ones. If you got a go bag, grab it, go somewhere if you can. It's tough. It depends on the scale of the event. That's what is really important. There's only so much us regular people can do. And we just track this stuff as a heads up. That's it. There's really not much. Same with the UFO stuff, the invisible threats. Some of it, you have to watch out. It depends if they implement policies that may impact our day-to-day lives, specifically like COVID. They implemented various policies that made it challenging for us purebloods to walk around, and so that did have a real impact on our lives. UFO stuff, Space Force, space tax, who knows? Apocalypse, tougher to deal with. The
well, but I do like that as an indicator of, like, let's see if all these guys start flying around at the same time, especially if they're all going to similar destinations.
Yeah, if they're all going to Hawaii, we can make a good bet that there's something not going to happen there. They feel as though that is a safe place to hang out.
Well, there's that TV show on, I've not seen any of it, but is it Hulu or Disney or something, about they build a giant city under Cheyenne Mountain in Colorado. What's the name of that one?
Oh boy, it's a Hulu thing?
Something. HBO, I don't know.
I don't know.
Paradise. It's called Paradise. Yes, it's on Hulu. Yeah. But it's about exactly this It's a post-apocalyptic, and it's set in a giant city-sized bunker that they built in Colorado and near NORAD. Or Crystal Mountain, I suppose, more accurately. But it has flashbacks to kind of show what happens before, but it's set in that space to start, and so there's a lot of billionaires who came together to build this giant thing, and they all bugged out and whatever. So.
Oh, okay, that sounds fun.
Really?
Well, we're going to move on. I do have some more headlines I desperately want to tell people about. Here we go. And not to be outdone by my previous invisible threats, but I have another invisible threat for people.
Oh, right.
And don't want to concern people, but this might be concerning. We'll find out.
A third British national has been diagnosed with suspected Hantavirus infection linked to an outbreak on board the cruise ship MV Hondius. The vessel is now heading to the Canary Islands, where the government is telling people they have nothing to fear from it. Madrid has agreed to allow passengers on board to disembark on the island of Tenerife before being repatriated, but the decision has faced considerable opposition. Meanwhile, in a statement sent to the BBC, a French couple on board described the situation as under control.
Yes.
Well, we've been hearing from our correspondent Nick Beek in Leiden in the Netherlands, where one person is being treated for Hantavirus, and Guy Hedgecoe, who's in Tenerife. And we were also joined by Hugh Schofield in Paris for the latest from the French passengers who released that statement.
One patient at the hospital behind me, and if you listen to what the authorities here in the Netherlands are saying, they're really echoing what other agencies, what the likes of the World Health Organization are saying. They are making the point that the risk they believe to the wider public is low. They say that the transmission of Hantavirus is nothing like that of COVID. So this is the message of reassurance they're trying to put out to people. In terms of what happens next with this patient, we're not quite sure, but certainly the Netherlands has been at the centre of this because the ship sailed under a Dutch flag, and so that's why, like other countries, they are coordinating, and really the focus for now is trying to trace all of those people who may have come into contact with people who were infected with the virus, Martine.
You can understand, I suppose, though, when we talk about self-isolation, we talk about tracking and tracing, it does have echoes of the pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that sort of language is stuff that people hope we never hear again. The notion of track and trace, not just a notion, it's becoming a reality now. And here in the Netherlands, we know that in Amsterdam, about 20 minutes drive from here, you've got someone who worked for KLM, the airline, a member of staff there. She apparently had close contact with a woman who later died from it. So it would seem that this is a case of transmission. The authorities are saying that there needs to be prolonged contact. So a matter of it can't just be an interaction where you walk past someone in the street or maybe in a confined space for a short amount of time. They say it's not like, for example, being on a bus and someone with the virus is a few seats away, or on a train and you can pick up the virus. They say you have to be very close to someone for a prolonged amount of time. But
and we'll leave it right there. So you do see news online about this virus. Some people are hyping it up more.
They really want this bad.
It does feel like they really want this for Trump. They want this for Trump. Definitely they do. And
it's not just that. If you recall, COVID was one of the greatest wealth transfers in the history of the world.
Oh, yeah.
COVID.
And they want to do it again. Because, hey, that worked great. All we got to do is, we talk about it all the time. You're still assholes out there wearing masks. I saw someone the other day wearing a mask. And again, if someone is legitimately concerned about, I don't want to spread my cold to somebody else, and they're wearing one of the properly sealed N95 whatever style masks, fine. Every time I see someone out and about wearing a mask, it's either a crappy cloth one they got from Etsy, or it's one of those piece of junk dyed black whatever. And that does literally nothing. It stops spit from leaving your gaping face hole and getting into other people's face holes. But if you are going along the lines of the virus is tiny, it can get through things, and that mask does nothing then. So I don't understand that. People are still primed. There's still a huge amount of the population who was primed for this. And if they come out and they say, you know what, folks, this Hantavirus is getting really bad. We got to roll FEMA out. We're starting all this stuff right back up. People would be hurting themselves, falling down over each other to get in lockstep and start licking boots.
So all I got to do is search for Hantavirus vaccine, and here's some headlines here. Vaccine, there's no vaccine for the deadly Hantavirus. Some say
that means they can light up more emergency use authorization. There's no treatment. We don't know what to do.
Some say it's years off, but then some say there's promising new developments, and you're seeing this more and more. And then, of course, the troubling thing is just days after the World Health Organization ran an exercise called Polaris 2, we had this event on that cruise ship, and here it is. By
the way, if you recall, early on in COVID, there was another cruise ship that they thought they had suspected people on board, and it was docked somewhere offshore, and they were using that like, great, this is a fantastic opportunity. We have a closed population. Let's see what happens, etc. They're doing the same thing again with the Hantavirus stuff, and then you find out not only have they let people disembark, but like 60 of them got off the boat and all just flew all over the country and shit. And it's just like, well, okay, so if indeed we're going to chase this down as this was the start of some sort of deadly pandemic, why didn't you keep them all on the boat? And they always come back with, well, we didn't know. They're following the exact same playbook as
it does feel like that. It does feel like
7 years ago.
And here is the World Health Organization practicing today for tomorrow's emergencies, who convenes countries and partners to simulate response of major disease outbreak. Now, in this one, they're simulating an outbreak. This is called the Polaris 2, which is a 2-day high-level simulation exercise based around an outbreak of a fictitious new bacteria spreading across the world. That is not the Hantavirus. The Hantavirus is a virus that I believe is primarily transmitted via
rat shit.
Rat poop. So make sure if you live in a place where there are rats and they are pooping on stuff that you might come in contact with, clean it off. Don't touch it, clean it off, take good care of yourself and your hygiene.
Do you remember there were several outbreaks of Hantavirus in the U.S. in the 90s? I remember I was in high school. It was in the early 90s, and it was in New Mexico and Arizona in particular, because it's dry environments. When the rat crap and the mouse crap and the droppings and the urine that's infected, it can get airborne just in the dust and just kind of float around and it just sits there.
Yeah.
And it came up several times, I remember, while I was in high school. And they even brought it up in the X-Files movie, and it was because it was a cultural zeitgeist thing then in the mid 90s for them to talk about that, because people were like, oh yeah, I remember hearing about that, which is why they pick things like that in movies. But that was a legit thing, and it's a smaller outbreak. It affects 8 or 10 or 12 people or something like that. And and to your point, if you were in a place that's dusty and there's lots of rodents around and all of that, wash your frickin' hands.
I fly a jetpack spraying human feces on people.
No, it'd have to be rat feces, Alex.
That's a little tougher to clean, too.
To that, the video you played earlier, and I was interrupting about when they say, oh, it's not about close contact. You have to be about close, prolonged contact. I'm like, look, these words have definitions. You purport to be a journalist. Why don't you tell me what that means? And my suspicion is, as more and more this will come out, it's similar to what they tried to pull off a few years ago with monkeypox, which had the wrong term. But monkeypox is passed through sexual activity, and so it didn't go anywhere because they were trying to hype that one up as the next big pandemic. And then all of a sudden, dogs and kids started getting it, and they shut that down real quick. So I suspect with the Hantavirus thing on these cruise ships, it's couples, it's married couples, it's people who are dating, whatever. Or I'm just throwing this one out there because this happens on cruise ships. There's some weird, key party type, spouse swapping shit going on. So it could have been that, and now they just scattered all over all over the planet. So I don't think it's going to be. Hantavirus as it is does not have the transmissibility to be the next pandemic. It doesn't mean there's not some stupid government lab working on it right now trying to get it airborne.
Yeah.
I have a constant sore throat, swollen glands, fevers. My muscles ache and are weak. I am totally exhausted all the time.
Yeah, that is true. So you were speaking of the X-Files. I have that little clip right here.
Fantastic.
From the X-Files talking about this. It seems like the X-Files, they always are.
By the way, just before you play this, there are two great scenes in film history from the 90s that are fantastic exposition of laying out big conspiracies. One is this one, which you're going to play, which is Mulder and Kurzweil, I think his name was, in a bar talking about like the big plans for the alien takeover and all these things, and you're going to play that one, so we'll let that go. The other one is in JFK, where he sits down with X. It's played by Donald Sutherland, and he gets this like dump of everything the CIA has done in the last like 30 or 40 years. That was in the 60s, obviously, so it was all leading up Indochina and all that stuff. But anyway, two fantastic scenes. Go get them on YouTube. They're just great as they lay out stuff like this. It's brilliant cinema, and we'll let Mike play this one.
Real quick before I play it, Catherine in the chat says, how disappointed is Mike about disclosure? And, I try to temper my hope. Disappointed, possibly, but it's just par for the course when you expect any sort of transparency from the government. It's just a lifelong string of disappointments. It's okay.
I'm used to being disappointed.
Yeah, it's fine. Why should I get anything? But here is the X-Files. Here we go.
See this crap? Somebody knows I'm talking to you.
Not according to the men in blue.
Oh, what is it this time? Kiddie porn again? Sexual battery of a patient?
They want to discredit you for what?
Because I'm a dangerous man, because I know too much about the truth.
Now that end of the world apocalyptic garbage, you right?
You know my work?
Yeah, right.
I was right about Dallas, wasn't I?
How were you right?
Are you familiar with the Hantavirus, Agent Mulder?
Yeah, it was a deadly virus spread by field mice in the southwestern United States several years ago.
According to the newspaper, FEMA was called out to manage an outbreak of the Hantavirus. Are you familiar with what the Federal Emergency Management Agency's real power is? FEMA allows the White House to suspend constitutional government upon declaration of a national emergency. Think about that. What is an agency with such broad sweeping power doing managing a small viral outbreak in suburban Texas?
You're saying it wasn't such a small outbreak?
No. I'm saying it wasn't the Hantavirus.
going, old man.
What was it?
When we were young men in the military, your father and I were recruited for a project. They told us it was biological warfare, a virus.
What killed those men?
What killed them, I won't even write about. We have no context for what killed those men, or any appreciation of the scale at which it'll be unleashed in the future.
A plague?
The plague to end all plagues, Agent Mulder. A silent weapon for a quiet war. The systematic release of an indiscriminate organism for which the men who will bring it on still have no cure. They've been working on this for 50 years. While the rest of the world have been fighting gooks and commies, these men have been secretly negotiating a planned Armageddon.
Negotiating with whom?
I think you know. The timetable has been set. It'll happen on a holiday when people are away from their homes. The president will declare a state of emergency, at which time all government, all federal agencies will come under the power of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, the secret government.
They call me paranoid.
Go back to Dallas, Agent Mulder, and dig. Or we're gonna find out along with the rest of the country. When it's too late.
There we go. X-Files. I don't know what year that was. 1998. 1998. There we go.
Yeah, it was X-Files Fight the Future. Is that film?
God, it's been so long since I've seen it. I feel like
that film holds up really well. I saw it, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. For something that is, and it's weird to say it, almost 30 years old. It really, it still looks good. They didn't. I mean, this was before the days of CGI everywhere. Because I mean, in the 90s they still weren't doing much of that. But there's some model work and things with the explosions and whatnot. But it still looks good. It's still got a good story to it. It's still compelling. Yeah, it's well done.
And so I'll do one last little piece of news here, please. And we're going to change things up just a little bit. We're going to go down to Tennessee. For people who don't know, there was
the home of Tim Burchett.
Yeah. You know, or is he? Yeah, he's Tennessee. I thought maybe he was Kentucky, but he is Tennessee, I believe.
Yes.
So here we go. Tennessee passes new congressional map likely to flip final Democratic seat as protests erupt inside the Tennessee Capitol. This is a big deal.
Oh, really?
When it comes to politics. If you like the politics and the back and forth, this story is for you. This is a big deal.
Before you get into this, do you have the commentary from Bill Maher on this? If not, I'll pull it.
No, I do not. No, I just have this story.
Let me see if I can find that now.
And this is Fox News perspective right here. This is how they're writing about it. So Tennessee lawmakers passed a new congressional map Thursday that sets up a potential to flip the state's final Democratic seat. The push to redraw Tennessee's congressional lines could erase the state's final Democratic foothold in Washington, cementing a 9-0 Republican delegation and raising concerns about the future of black voter representation in Memphis. Despite local disruption from Democratic lawmakers, the Republican-controlled legislature passed the map, advancing the measure to Governor Bill Lee for his expected signature. The new map targets the 9th Congressional District, the state's only sole majority black district, and its last remaining Democratic stronghold. So I believe it is a sole majority black district, but I believe the representative is a white guy.
And which district is it? What's the number?
That is District 9. And so the new map targets District 9. I believe it's a white guy. So is it? But he's a Democratic white aliens? Guy. So Republican lawmakers argue the shift reflects the state's overall.
Not just a white guy, an old white guy.
Yeah. So they're getting rid of an old white guy, an old Democratic white guy, and I believe they're being replaced with a black female Republican. I believe. I think that's the case.
Well, they haven't had votes on it yet. I mean, how do you know?
Well, I think if they're merging districts or realigning stuff, but I think that's who would be running. And So Republican lawmakers argue the shift reflects the state's overall political identity. Tennessee has tended...
Old white Jewish.
Oh, is that who they're getting rid of?
Representative.
Okay.
Yeah. These guys they're anti-Semitic now too.
Yeah. So the legislative session was marked by high tensions and protests and tactics from the minority party as the vote neared. Democratic lawmakers in the House linked arms and used air horns to drown out the proceedings. And this, I mean, it was quite loud. Let me see if I can find some of it. Exactly. That was how it was. It was pretty. If you can find that link, I'll see if I can find it too. Because it was just.
I've not seen the video. I'm sure it's out there of them drowning out stuff. That, by the way, doesn't that get you removed from the removed from the chambers if you start disrupting?
Yeah, it could
business?
be.
I mean,
it could be considered.
Public. You can go in during votes. You can sit there in the galleries. Let's say the galleries, and watch these votes. That's a public thing. They want you as citizens there, and then people like this go in and disrupt it, which is why they then boot everybody out, and then they lock those galleries. So you can't go in.
It could be considered an insurrection. I don't want to It could be. This is how loud it was when they're trying to do government business. Now, let me change this real quick. We're going to go mono. This is crazy. People marching around, waving their flags, upset that they're getting rid of an old white guy. There's their horns. There we go.
And so they're down on the floor of the chamber?
They're on the steps. Some are in the chamber.
I just saw where they're on the floor.
Yeah, some are in the floor. Some are outside.
Don't they get arrested immediately?
Well, some were escorted out,
I'm just saying, if this was the other side of the spectrum, you'd have people arrested and put in jail.
Yeah, so they're upset that an old white guy is being removed.
And this goes back to the Supreme Court, was it last month or the month before, ruled on something out of, I'm guessing here, it was Louisiana, I think, that there was gerrymandering to create a district based purely on race.
Yes.
And the justification for creating said district map was based on race. And the Supreme Court tossed it and said you can't do that. And so now that's overturning a lot of these, which were created based on race.
And this is just a back and forth, This is the latest tactic. Yeah, is it a power grab? Yes, but this is just the latest power grab by the Republicans who are reacting to what the Democrats were trying to do in Virginia and other states. It's just a back and forth until inevitably we only have one party rule. That's the ultimate goal. I would have to assume.
Well, it doesn't really matter who's in charge because
yeah, it doesn't really.
So I put that clip of Bill Maher in the carrot shop.
Here's Bill Maher.
It seemed only a few weeks ago, maybe months ago, that it would be impossible for the Democrats to lose this election. No way. Well, headline today, way. There is a way, and it's because of what they do when they don't win, they cheat. So this is the big story today, gerrymandering. This has gone nuclear. And Republicans are winning the gerrymander war. We talked about it last week, but a lot has changed since then. As you know, it started with Texas, your state. Trump said, gerrymander Texas. Okay, so they got like 4 or 5 new seats in Texas. California responded and said, okay, we're going to do the same thing. All right, so now this is a terrible road to go down, but at least we're even. Okay, now the Supreme Court ruled last week on the Voting Rights Act. Everything is different now. 8 states have new maps now. And 5 more are planning to. Texas, Florida, Ohio, Missouri, North Carolina. They're all now more Republican. These states that had districts that minorities were electing candidates from. Virginia did it on the Democratic side, and the Supreme Court in the state said they can't. So that's a big loss for the Democrats. They're not going to get that to even the score. And Tennessee now. Show the map of the Tennessee. This is really what's going on here. Look at this. They've taken Memphis, a majority black city, and they moved it into 3 different districts to dilute the vote.
Yeah, because this is a reaction to what the Democrats were doing, and this is why it's this bad tit for tat back and forth, and until we are just all at each other's throats, and no one feels as though they're being heard.
The fundamental issue with this is, and Mar mentioned it there, it's a bad road to go down, and it's a tit for tat. It's a back and forth on manipulating districts for political gain. The ones that, and this is just a big generalization, but in general, the ones being manipulated by the Republican Party are being manipulated for political gain. The ones being manipulated by the Democrat Party were manipulated based on racial districting, racial demographics.
Exactly.
And that's what the Supreme Court said. You cannot use race to determine voting districts. And so these districts which were based purely 100% on race and documented as thus are getting thrown out. So,
well, it appears as though the cat is out of the bag at this point.
Mm-hmm. There'll be a lot more of this for the next couple of years.
Yeah,
every few years.
I don't know how you fix this. I don't know.
Well, some states don't allow you to redistrict because it's up to each individual state. Even though they're using federal elections, it's based on each state can do it. Some states say you can't do this, but every 10 years based on the census or whenever the legislature comes up with a bill, sort of thing. Other states say you can redistrict at any time, but they don't take effect for X number of months or years or whatever. So you can't redistrict like the week before an election.
I get that.
And that's what a lot of folks are pushing back on in this. Like, hey, even if you redistrict, now I don't know which district I'm in. Now I'm not sure where to go to vote. Now when I go to vote on voting day, my vote may not be counted because I'm in the wrong place or something like that. So that's what the argument on some of these are. But to your point, mainly this is just it's a tit for tat political back and forth.
Yeah, this is just the latest play. No side is innocent here, and it's crazy. But that's where we're at, and we're going to move on, and we're going to take some phone calls now.
Let's go ahead and take the phone calls.
Yeah, I'm going to open the phone lines here. We're going to do right now 513-461-2175. We'll take a few phone calls here. Then we're going to do the last announcement for the Guild of Knowing, book box number 5. Caller, you are on the air. Hello.
Hello.
Sounds like Stan.
Stan?
Hey guys, Avalanche in Alaska here.
Stan in Alaska. Stan. What is on your mind?
Stan?
Yeah, the Hantavirus thing with the X-Files and allowing those passengers to disembark, especially the ones that died pretty shortly thereafter in South Africa, after that boat went and visited Argentina and then went down to Antarctica as part of a little sightseeing tour. It's funny how you're like, oh yeah, this I think it was a German couple. Like they died because they went to go do some bird viewing in a landfill in Argentina, and they got the Argentinian rats Hantavirus version. So,
yeah, wait, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not familiar with the X-Files movie or maybe even the lore. Didn't the black goo in X-Files originate in Antarctica?
Yeah, it was an alien. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So this thing went down there to Antarctica to see the ice wall and pick up some black goo.
Mike, it wasn't to see aliens. They just went down to New Schwabenland.
Okay. Well, whatever. It's just interesting coincidence.
And I don't know if you want to put up a graphic there, Cretched, but who put New Schwabenland in place? And I'm not sure which people that was involved in, but if you follow the trail here, I just got done reading Ann Jacobson's book, Operation Paperclip, and you it's not really like new or groundbreaking, but basically what you can do is you can draw the globalists and all that they've been doing. They allowed and utilized the German scientists and all the stuff that they were researching, all the plagues, all the biologicals, the chemical warfare, everything, the rocketry. And then that just effectively transferred over to the U.S. military and the CIA. Well, right afterwards, the OSS still. But these guys are just running that same exact playbook. They are mad scientists, sociopaths looking to, seek, kill, and destroy.
Yes.
They want to create emergency problems and scare the crap out of people. And originally, when they talked about this boat, we had 150 people on it. They talked about, and then they had that one blogger on there, or there was a travel blogger on there, and he was all like, "Oh, I'm scared. Oh my God, they're going to keep us on this boat." And like, they kind of were talking because they wanted to disembark at Cape Verde in West Africa, and the country's like, "Hey, heck no, we don't want your hantavirus." But then you find out a few days later, oh yeah, we just let people indiscriminately go, and they're spreading all over the country, and they're talking about there's people that disembarked from that boat in the United States now that are in the Arizona, Utah, New Mexico, California, Colorado area, and so it's like they're trying to hype this one up, even though I'm sure, and then they had the same thing to say, hey, we're creating a vaccine for the hantavirus. It's like, of course you are. You're always creating these vaccines. The sword and the shield is called in the Operation Paperclip book. The virus is the sword, and the vaccine is the shield. It's all a bunch of other nonsense.
Shouldn't they just drop them back off in Antarctica? And that's the perfect place. Look, if you want to be free, here you go.
Yes.
Drop them off in Antarctica.
And absolutely, you could set up an actual community there in New Schwabenland with the global warming we're having, the climate change, and these people could be free, and then they wouldn't have to deal with all this redistricting nonsense we have in the United States or the Iran war. I mean, they could survive out there. It's very obvious.
Yeah.
The other topic was with this whole UFO stuff.
Yes.
So the Pentagon released it. Do you have the link to the website that the Pentagon released all this at? Is it one central area, or where did it all get dumped?
Yeah, it was all on War.gov
/UFO.
Yeah, /UFO.
Yeah, it's not backslash.
/_ UFO.
There's a couple dots.
UFO.
.htm.
Okay. No, I think
you got it?
.org.
Yes.
.info.
.net.
Okay, got it. .biz. I think UFOs they're in the business of UFOs, right?
Yeah, I would imagine. That's what it feels like now.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a war.gov /UFO. It's all Pete Hicks has put it all there, and I think there's like 166 files you can go through.
Okay. Interesting.
It's a nice Sunday afternoon.
Now, Eric Davis that did the testimony last year and talked about the Greys, the Nordics, the insectoids, and the reptilians.
Yeah.
That's where we're going, right? That this is the planned release to say these are our masters, and they come from where? Zeta Reticuli, Sirius B. I mean, is it all the Linda Moulton Howe art? Because I heard somebody yesterday said this sounds like an Art Bell movie, and I'm almost like, it's straight. It is.
It's hard to know. It depends on who releases the information, and so it really depends if they're going to try to take a more biblical approach to this, or if they're going to go straight technology alien threat. And it does feel as though it will be set up in a Lou Elizondo manner, which is Lou Elizondo is of the opinion that these things should be treated as a national security threat, and that we should use nuclear reactors, nuclear explosions in order to lure these things in and to continue to capture these things to study and reverse engineer this craft. Now, I believe ultimately it will be explained or suggested that these things are not coming from another planet and that they are interdimensional or fallen angels. And that will be used to placate the Christian right to create an adversary, because if you're told that these are fallen angels, then you're going to get a good chunk of the Christians on board. It's like, oh yeah, we need to battle these things. These are demonic forces. We got to get a new space tax, and yeah, we should be luring these demons in and capturing them. I think that's how it's going to ultimately go. I don't know if people are going to buy into it.
But you're talking about the woke Reich fighting these aliens, right? Because anybody on the woke Reich will be the ones fighting the aliens, because we know these are benevolent, the Anunnaki, and they're just here to tell us that, hey, you guys haven't been mining enough gold for us. Get out there and start mining. And they're probably the Anunnaki. You say, You need to start getting more lithium, more rare earths, and just more silver. I mean, look at the prices. Look at the markets. Why haven't you guys been getting more of this?
It's tough to know. It really depends on who is releasing it and how it's being positioned. But my thought process is that they have to position it as a national security threat. Lou Elizondo is probably the angle they're going to go with.
Absolutely. And Lou Elizondo, so that means every irrigation circle on the planet is a UFO. It's just a mothership waiting to rip out of the ground. So we've got, I don't know how many irrigation circles we have in the United States, probably 1 million, maybe 2 million. So we're already going to be outnumbered. We don't have enough aircraft. We don't have a big enough military. We're busy fighting Iran. I mean, we got to divert. We got to just say, Trump, forget about Iran, forget about all that nonsense over there. Israel, forget about Lebanon and everybody else you want to do in the Greater Israel Project. We need to fight these irrigation circle UFOs that are piloted by fallen angels and all that nonsense.
Real quick before we move on, but that's a relatively good point. Is like, who is going to believe this threat when presented with it by the Trump administration? It's going to be a hard pill to swallow. Like, it might. Even if it is a genuine threat, is anybody going to believe it? They're calling every shenanigans on every ding-dong story there is. So it's going to be really tough to convince people unless Trump is not the messenger and they have Barack Obama come out and push this. They need a different messenger. Trump's not the guy.
No, and that's what the CIA is going to do. They're going to keep putting out different messengers. They're eventually going to write off Trump, have him, gracefully exit the whole thing and then bring in the next people that are going to do this. Maybe your next new governor there in Ohio, Vivek Ramaswamy, he might be, a potential candidate for that. So maybe,
I mean, he's not terribly popular. I think it would have to be somebody at the caliber of Barack Obama or John Major.
Yeah. They're gonna use this, and this is all, let the cat out of the bag. This is all military-industrial complex, globalist, CFR, Trilateral Commission nonsense. These guys, like you were talking about Jeff Bezos and these nutters, like they are looking for wealth transfer and power, and they want to eventually, with all these data centers, I'm sure the data centers will eventually be some part of the whole. We need to do this to either battle the aliens or to placate the aliens or whatever it is, and we're still never going to get to the moon because what are we going to do with Artemis 3 now? They are under threat. If Artemis 3 goes to the moon, how do we protect them? We need Space Force with Star Destroyers and X-Wings to go, protect Artemis 3 to get to the moon.
Force.
So you can draw all these same TV movie conclusions like they've been doing because these guys are just trying. We're losing sight of the fact we have an Epstein class of sicko freaks who want to seek, kill, and destroy us. But regardless of that, I am thoroughly enjoying the new UFOs, especially that one that looked like a little like a sided little, I don't know what you call it, like a little starburst.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Trails in the sky.
Yeah, it's like a navigation star. It looks cute. You know who they can get to sell us?
What was the exhaust?
Well, we don't know.
What was the exhaust? It's alien exhaust. We need to know. We need to study this. So.
They could get they probably could get Tony Blair to sell this thing. People, he's still looked on favorably worldwide. Tony Blair probably could sell this thing.
Tony Blair. Oh,
yeah, I bet he could. He's a great speaker.
Yeah, he could definitely get some people.
And he's probably looked on favorably more so by Republicans in the United States. So I think they need Tony Blair.
We just need to get our popcorn out. Get ready for the Mandalorian Grogu movie here in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Celebrate Victory in Europe Day. Get ready for Victory in Japan Day here coming up in a few months. I mean, just whatever. This is
it's ridiculous.
They've gone. They are really trying hard on this. Just across the board, they are tryhards to the nth degree.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, thank you, Stan.
Times, though.
Appreciate your call, man.
All right, great show, guys.
Bye.
Later.
All right, probably prank caller.
Yeah, probably prank. We are going to go right now and announce the winner of Book Box 5.
Yes. The Guild believes book box number 5, a Skywatcher's bundle, should go to someone who appreciates the full atmosphere of it. Sky mystery, alien suspicion, old school wonder, sugar for morale, and a green relic that should probably not be trusted. Now, a belief statement about the losers, the others were not without merit. Some were, funny, some strange, some admirable, some wonderfully deranged. Many entries were either too brief, too joke forward, or less complete than the strongest case. The Guild respects chaos, but prefers a reason. So, who is the winner? The Guild chooses Yelly B. Yes, Yelly B. Why? Because the entry had heart, specificity, and purpose. It was not just pick me. It was about sharing the box with a father who is already a true believer in UFOs, the paranormal, and distrust of official stories, and enjoying the books over coffee together. That made it feel personal, memorable, and very much in the spirit of the bundle. The Jeff Goldberg mention helped, but the real strength was the story. You won, Yelly B.
There we go. All right. That was, for now, the final book box, number 5, as dictated by the Guild of Knowing Stuff. So Yelly, DM me on Patreon. I'll DM you. We'll get the address. We'll get that sent out to you. So thank you, everyone in Patreon, for participating, commenting, and I'll be doing more giveaways throughout the year as I go to half-price books. I got some more books coming, Cratchit. I ordered some more last night to delve into the esoteric and weird. So as I finish up books, I'll be sending off and all the stuff that I've already read, don't need. So continue to pay attention. I'll be posting up more stuff for giveaways.
So you read a book and then you said, well, I've already extracted all the knowledge. I'm going to give this away.
Yeah. Yes. I think that's going to be my philosophy. If I cannot find a reason to hold on to it, like if it's not like bookmarked, or if it's not something I feel like I'm going to go back to over and over again, I'm giving it away. I think other people can get something out of it. And plus it just frees up more room for me. I only have so much book space, bookshelf space. So I got to be practical here. But we're going to move on to Cretched and see all the good news he has right now.
Like really pounding it hard.
Actually, so this first one is indeed that cue up all your Trump grunts.
We're pounding it.
Your daddy discipline stuff.
Oh my Lord!
All your yelling and grunting and screaming and all that stuff.
What kind of story is this?
It's one that needs sound effects. all your grunts and groans.
God, oh my Lord!
Get them all ready and queued up.
Let's see what we got going on here. You put it in the carrot shop yet?
Not yet.
No.
Make sure you got everything ready to go.
I'm ready. I got it.
Okay, here we go. So there's a place in Denver, opened the new gym. The people who live next to the gym, not so big of a fan.
So here we go. Denver gym sued over groaning and struggling weightlifters. This is bound to happen. People are very sensitive to noises nowadays. So local gym bros are accused of spoiling a downtown condominium with their excessive grunting. I can see that. It is kind of weird when you just hear the working out and you're not participating in it.
Yeah, you're not part of it. What's going on down there?
3 residents of the Beauvalin have
I don't know, Beauvalin. I don't know.
Beauvalin have filed a lawsuit against the Summit Strong, a gym located on the second floor of the 22-year-old building at the 925 Lincoln Street address. Since the gym opened in 2024, noises from workouts there have disturbed the people on the 3rd floor, according to a lawsuit filed in Denver County District on April 21st.
Yeah.
Quote, it is operating a loud powerlifting gym beneath the residential floor. Well, at least it's not above you, though, so that when they're dropping weights...
dropping the weights on
Yeah,
you.
so below, that's not as bad, if you think about it.
Yeah, but it's like someone in the basement of your house shouting all day long.
Yeah, I guess so. There's a weightlifter right there. That's some hardcore powerlifting going on down there.
It's that the old Adam Sandler gag. It's like, no, they're doing the military press.
The summit willingly allows its customers and or staff to cause and emit unreasonably loud weightlifting-related noises without setting reasonable parameters. Get it up. Come on. One more push. One more rep. Come on. One more rep. You can do it. Come on. Push it up. There we go. Okay. That was one last rep. He finally got it up. He's new to the gym. So arms are probably pretty sore. The suit specifically takes issue with the sound of dropping heavy weights on the floor, banging pieces of metal equipment against each other, and weightlifters groaning, yelling, and struggling to lift weights. Yeah, come on. Get it up there. Oh, he must have pulled a hamstring right there. It is, it's tough to work out sometimes. It is kind of, you're prone to injury when you do it. The noises reportedly began as early as 5 a.m. Oh my God, 5 a.m.
Hey, you're up early.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so fucking good.
You don't need it. Yeah, you want to wake up, you want to have your morning crumpet, your tea, your coffee. You don't
your crumpet.
You don't want
your crumpet on the lanai. I'm going to go have a crumpet on the lanai at my residence at the Beauvillon.
The residents upstairs are unable to sleep, unable to enjoy dinner, and unable to work from their home or enjoy their homes in the morning, afternoon, or evening because of the loud noises.
Oh, come on, keep your composure, boy.
These coaches over there, they're no nonsense.
Well, to be fair, those folks aren't actually working when they're at home anyway. So
yeah, that's probably true. The lawsuit also argues that the gym has hurt the condo owners' property value, as home buyers will pay less for a unit experiencing loud, unreasonable noises.
Oh, man, can you imagine trying to? Can you imagine trying to show your home?
Yeah, this is the
realtors leading people around, and this is what you hear.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to see that.
It's very loud.
And here we have the kitchen.
Yeah.
What's going on down there? We don't go in the basement.
They're just trying to motivate the people down there.
Got a long way to go today.
How long is this workout going to last? I'm trying to get some sleep up here. The lawsuit also argues the gym has hurt condo owner value. Active Zillow listings for 2-bedrooms, 2-bathroom condos in the Beau Valley has an asking price in ranges of $440,000 to $625,000 as of May 5th.
I'm looking at some photos of these things because they linked some of their. This looks like any typical steel stud sheetrock generic 1990s early 2000s mid 2000s construction inside. Nothing about any of what I'm seeing on these photos of the units themselves said this is worth $450,000. That's ridiculous.
The noise conflict was anticipated before Summit Strong began operations in the building. According to the lawsuit, residents expressed concern during a March 2023 meeting about the gym's potential noise level. The owner, Todd Zalinsky, reportedly assured the residents that insulation and soundproofing would be installed to prevent disturbing the condos. So the condos are being disturbed. Yeah, there we go.
Pound Town.
Maybe the owner of the gym should say, hey, residents, you're now living in Pound Town, so get used to it.
Pound Town.
And see, the noise allegations violate the condominium's rules and regulations. Direct correspondence with the gym and the association complaint resolution procedure were both ineffective in addressing the issue, according to the lawsuit. All three plaintiffs are members of the association. So The lawsuit seeks a court order requiring Summit Strong to open up no earlier than 9 a.m. and cease excessive noise and other disruptive vibrations. So dropping of the weights, all that kind of stuff.
Well, there are a lot of people at any gym who do that. They seem to delight in dropping weights on the floor.
They do. Though it seems the matter could potentially be resolved if weightlifters just get their gains up. That is true. If these guys wouldn't stop slacking and start beefing up a little quicker, we wouldn't have this problem.
And you know what happened is some I don't know what you phrase it. Probably some battle axe went down there and complained to the gym. You boys are making too much noise. And you say that in a gym like that, people are just going to make more noise.
Yeah, they are.
A little bit.
See here. This is not the first lawsuit to hit this condo complex. The place needed over $20 million in repairs almost as soon as it was finished. And complaints from owners nearly single-handedly ended condo construction in the city for a while as other builders were hesitant to fall into the same trap. So I wonder what that means. Like, so people moved into the condo, construction continued, and then they complained that there was construction continuing as people were living there?
Or things never get it. Brand new buildings, commercial construction, brand new buildings always have, the air conditioner's not working right, or we got to fix the elevator, or there's problems with the tile in the hall. It's always stuff like that. For those of you who have ever built a house or had a brand new condo building or something like that, there's always crap like that for the first. I mean, they always cover it under the initial builder's warranty sort of thing, but it goes on for the first 2 or 3 years. It's like buying the first year of a brand new model car. It's like they work all the kinks out during that. So wait until year 2 or 3 when everything's figured out. So if you're doing new construction, God bless you. But that is a process. It's an experience. If you're moving into a brand new condo, don't move in after it's been open for 3 or 4 years.
I guess the good news
is
all
the weightlifters have moved in.
The good news is this condo is on a top 10 list, but it's the top 10 worst buildings to live in downtown Denver. So there you go. Yeah, so there. I mean,
but it does come with a fully equipped gym.
They just need to redistrict and just redistrict and figure that out
based on racial lines.
Yes, please. Interesting story.
Perfect headline.
All right, so one of the comments in that story, I'm trying to make sure this video is actually of the video. Why won't it play? We're going to gamble here until this loads. Was that these problems wouldn't be such a problem if these weightlifters were just stronger and able to lift more weight, which is exactly how exercise works. But here's somebody who clearly has figured out how to maximize his gains. And so he's known as a local strongman. So he's now just doing feats of strength, and this one is a double topper for a feat of strength.
I like this. I like a local show off.
But there's two. So you get about halfway through this headline, and you think, "Wow, that's impressive," and then it goes one step farther.
Strongman John Stevenson pulls car with his penis while body is on fire.
Man, I got mixed emotions about this one.
Yeah, this guy, he just is looking for a new challenge. I get it. Is there a video?
I can't get it to load.
Yeah, mine's not loading
either.
But
it's not loading for me. So
a quirky strongman claims he has become the first individual globally to tow a vehicle with his penis while ablaze. He might be right.
He'll do much of anything with his penis while he's on fire.
Yeah. He might be able to. I mean, he might be. I wonder if he invited a Guinness Book down to observe this. John Stevenson, 50, dragged a 2-ton French car, which is he dragged it 40 meters, or about 131 feet, along a residential street using his manhood after being set on fire. He accomplished this extraordinary stunt in Halifax, West Yorkshire, on Thursday as bewildered local residents looked on. Yeah,
bewildered.
What kind of towing company is this? This is a weird towing company we got here.
Does that man know he can drive the car? Sir, you're on fire.
Yeah, somebody just throw water on him. Employing a tow rope fastened to his penis, John managed to haul the Renault along.
Renault.
It's called a Renault?
It's a Renault.
It's Renault. Well, then why have the L and the T on there?
It's French.
Okay. The Renault along the road where ITV drama Aki Bridge was shot.
Don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Must be a local thing. And despite acknowledging it hurt quite a bit, the father of 3 confirmed everything was still intact. Well, that's good.
That's some
Hey,
good
did that
news on
hurt?
that
You
front.
better believe it did.
Yeah. The martial artist specialist and former bare-knuckle fighter has previously made headlines for dragging a vehicle using his testicles and towing a car while his head was engulfed in flames. So he's done things like this before. He's not new to this game. Therefore, he chose to merge both the stunts to highlight men's mental health concerns and believes that he is the sole person worldwide to have accomplished such a remarkable achievement. I gotta agree.
I think he's doing a good job because now I have concerns about this guy's mental health.
Yes, he's making us aware of his mental health. So here's a picture of him with the tow rope around his dong, and it just cannot be comfortable. It cannot be good.
Penis man.
I don't see how this is healthy for your manhood here. Maybe it makes it bigger. Have we thought about that?
Jeez.
Maybe.
To make it bigger?
Next step will be him trying to do this while somebody's in the car driving it the other way.
Yeah, maybe.
Size matters.
Painter and decorator John of Spalding, Lincolnshire, stated, I pulled a car with my testicles before, and I pulled a car on fire, so I thought, why not combine the both, but this time do it with my penis. I won't lie, it did hurt quite a bit, but my mind was focused on being on fire and just plow on and pull it around 40 meters. I doused myself in lighter fuel, and the wind was against me a bit, so it took a couple of attempts, but I got a few marks down. But everything is still intact, so hopefully no harm done. People think I'm a bit mad, but I like myself to accomplish challenges. I did my research, and nobody in the world has ever done this before. There he is. There's a picture of this very sane person with a tattoo on his forehead. Quote, there is a serious side to it, too. I'm raising awareness of prostate cancer and bullying in school. Okay. Okay. All right.
Not sure it's the awareness he wants, but
he wasn't concerned about getting maybe like a charge with public indecency or flashing at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like he was exposing himself in a way that maybe the community at large did not want to be associated with, but he was raising awareness for prostate cancer and bullying. So, maybe I'll just let this one slide. I'm also raising money for Ruddis Retreat in Huffinsfield, which provides holidays for families of children with cancer. Well, that's a good thing. Okay, John also holds the world record for delivering 300 punches in 30 seconds while gripping a 1 kilogram dumbbell in each hand. Well, that's some serious stuff, man. This guy's strong, no doubt about that. Every part of this guy is strong. This guy he's a real dude, and he does goofy stuff, and he's raised in awareness. So I think we got to go hats off to him here. Like he's doing something special. No one's done before.
I did put a link in Carrot Shop. So he on his YouTube channel, he has not posted video of this, which I find weird because clearly they shot video. The photos we're seeing are from the video. But I did find an interview with him on TMZ from a few days ago when they were asking him, like, why did you do this? So,
well, let's hear it straight from this guy. We don't have to interpret why he might be doing this. We can just hear him. I'm sure he's going to explain it better than we could.
When you're pulling a 2-ton car with your penis, the fire seems kind of like irrelevant.
Irrelevant?
I mean, why bother with the fire?
Why add that
you
whipped
don't
cream on top?
You don't need it.
Well, the simple explanation for the fire was, when I researched this, I wanted to be the first person to ever do like a stunt that's never been done. That's worldwide.
I love it!
So I did a bit of research on Google, and it turned out that somebody in another country's already pulled a car with their penis.
Oh, my God. Is that true?
This is a thing that we didn't know about. Okay.
I have to do it.
So I thought, right, well, what I can do then is try and put something on top of that to be a world's first. So I Googled it to see if anybody's ever done it while they're on fire.
Oh, my God.
And it turned out that they haven't. So that's what we did.
Oh, my God.
This is, John, I know this is going to be, let's be delicate about how we describe this, but as I was watching this, I'm wondering what's keeping the tow rope attached to you. Is it just...
So basically, what I did was, I got a scarf and I tied it around my...
Scarf, right, okay, got it.
Yeah.
And then sloped it down a bit, tied it again with a knot, but what I'd done was I'd put the tow rope through as well, so it's all fastened up.
What keeps your body parts attached when you are pulling something that's 2 tons? I'm serious. I do not.
What kind of car was this, actually,
What
John?
does it really matter?
Well, yeah, I mean, it
does it really matter? I don't understand.
It's a Renault.
The physics, the physiology. I don't understand how 2 tons can be pulled by a penis. Period.
Well, believe me, I strapped it up and it can be done because I did it.
So what he's saying is you don't realize how strong you're... Never mind. Anyway.
Nobody's... Boy, talk about road testing something.
So you got the record.
You can probably kill it there.
These guys are just goofing around, having good times.
Our Dutch news agent, Herman, did find video of this. It's about 30 seconds long. It's posted on Twitter. So there is footage of him doing this if you are so inclined.
Did Elon retweet this? I hope so.
Was it amplified by Grok?
Yeah, maybe. This is what we do in the West. And so there he is. He's on fire. And he's got his dong. And he's pulling. He's got some good momentum going. And his back is on fire. I'm sure it's pretty hot. I would like to see him more engulfed in flame. And you
want to see him like fully.
Yeah, I want to see like a stuntman engulfed in flame, And then some woman did come over and throw water on him. I don't know if he knew that woman or just a passerby. This might be a common occurrence there. We don't know, but they looked like they were prepared, and it looks like everyone's safe, and it worked out for the best. Oh,
so you want to see kind of a what was the Pink Floyd album?
Yes, Wish You Were There.
Wish You Were Here.
Wish You Were Here, not there. Here, get
not
here.
There, here. Wish you were here.
Yeah.
Fully engulfed in flame. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, interesting. This guy's a real champion. Okay. We have time for one more quick one, Cratch, before we got to get out of here.
Where's Nancy?
All right, I'm gonna give you 2 options here. One is very closely related to this, and I'm sure probably the direction you're going to want to go, but I'll give you the alternate first. So we have a story about a person who was on a ride at Disney World. They jumped off the ride to make water.
Okay.
Because sometimes you just got to go.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to make it.
Or, and we've talked about looks maxing, there is a trend going around called balls maxing.
Oh, my God.
And I found there's a follow-up Men's Health article on that one from about 2 weeks ago, which is very in-depth and gets very weird.
I think we got to go with the quick one here. We got to go with Disney. Save ball maxing for Wednesday.
Boner.
We have to. Right. That sounds like we got to go in deep with that. No pun intended, but that sounds like something that requires more time and attention than just a few minutes.
Yeah, they mentioned it on Fox News. I have a Fox News clip about it, and then there's this Men's Health article that goes in depth. This is a thing. So anyway, here's a guy who had to go beep beep on his Disney adventure.
Okay.
And there's there's TikTok video of it, which isn't loading for me right now.
So guest leaves Disney World Safari vehicle to urinate.
I have to do it.
I get that. Come on. There's no bathrooms in this thing, and they don't even provide buckets. So I understand that.
It's supposed to just lean over the side.
Oh, so here's the guy. So real quick, I'll read it. So a TikTok video posted is making the rounds after showing a guest getting out of the Kilimanjaro safari ride vehicles at Disney's Animal Kingdom to urinate in the bushes. Not backstage, not in an emergency area, right there in the middle of the attraction, in full view of other guests, including children. Well, he did have his back to the crowd. It wasn't like he's towing a vehicle, you know.
And kids have never, ever, ever, ever urinated,
Yeah,
so this is scary to them.
Yeah, I'm not upset at this guy. I'm actually with him. Like, I would probably do, if I gotta go, I gotta go. This is perfectly normal function for a person to do. The video has thousands of reactions, nearly 1,000 comments, and flooded with comments in a range from stunned to outright angry. It's almost hard to watch without thinking the same thing. What on earth was this guy? He's thinking. What on earth was this guy thinking? Well, he's thinking, I don't want uromycetitis. He has to go.
He was thinking he shouldn't have got the 128 ounce Mountain Dew at the concession stand.
Yeah, here's the video, the audio.
Piss.
Yeah, there's people looking on like they've never seen a man urinate in Disney World before. Oh, come on, little kids, don't look so shocked. Daddy, hurry up.
Daddy, hurry up. Daddy, we're waiting.
Listen, the more you talk, the harder it's going to be for me to finish up here.
I can't start.
Yeah, there's so many people.
Look at me.
Close your eyes.
Everyone look away. Did that guy just say seriously he's going to wash his hands? Come over and touch that dude.
And I went to the bathroom, took my shirt off. Go to the bathroom, come back. Bloop.
They probably will kick him out of the park.
I got to go to the bathroom.
I don't think you should. Everyone's looking around bewildered and stunned. And it goes on to say, this article goes, it isn't just gross, it's dangerous. Let's get past the obvious for a second. It's inappropriate, yes. It's uncomfortable for everyone around him. But the bigger issue is safety. The Kilimanjaro Safaris is not a slow-moving ride through fake scenery. It's an open-air vehicle traveling through real animal habitats. Well, he's marking his territory, so these animals are going to stay away. I learned this on watching Mountain Men. Okay?
Wait, are they suggesting that these crappy little vehicles are like lions and tigers and bears just come right up to it?
Yeah, like this guy's just going to get randomly attacked when he's out there urinating. Like Disney. Oh, here comes the bear. Okay. So it's getting out.
Release the bear when he's out there peeing. Hurry up, bear's coming.
It's not Jurassic Park, for crying out loud. Getting out is not just against the rules, it's risky for the guests, for cast members, and for the animals. And when something like this happens, operations don't just shrug and move on. Well, maybe they should. The ripple effect. Former cast members in the comment sections didn't hold back. One former attraction worker explained that an incident like this can trigger a full stop on the attraction. We're talking about vehicles halted across the entire savannah, guests delayed or evacuated, animal safety checks, operational resets before reopening. It's not just a quick fix, as you might think. It's a major disruption that affects hundreds of other guests. Well, have a bucket nearby. Do something about it. This guy was in pain.
Give this guy a stadium buddy.
Let's see. I'm trying to find the result. Disney has already had a section for of guest courtesy rules, but moments like this raise fair questions. Should something this basic be spelled out more clearly? Do not leave and urinate. Maybe
this person seems more concerned about it interrupting the flow of the Disney park than what happened to this guy.
I'm on this guy's side. It is tough to find a bathroom sometimes, and the older you get, sometimes you want that comfort. You want to know where the bathrooms are. You want to know.
You guys, so you traveled to, I think it was Universal a few years ago.
Yeah.
And you go to attractions like this, you're standing in line, all of a sudden you're in line for 2 or 3 hours.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, some of the lines are long enough. They have bathrooms along the way. Or you just, go China style and just pop a squat where you need to.
Yeah.
But, I suspect this guy was his bladders was bursting and he couldn't keep up. So why not?
I'm with him. And on the safari ride, you probably got a bottle of water with you. And next thing you know, you went through the whole entire thing. It goes right through your system. Cut the guy a break. No big deal. This is the problem, I think, with Disney and America in general. Everyone's hyper concerned over people pissing. Just let them go.
I'm curious about this implication that there's actually, animals on this that can come right up to you. I don't think it's true.
If that's the case, they have big time risks. I'm looking at these vehicles and it offers no protection.
Yeah, they're just open.
Yeah, it's just an open vehicle.
In fact, that one photo there at the top, there's no seatbelts on those seats.
Yeah, a monkey could come by and just pull your hair. What are you going to do about that? Monkey don't care.
There's crocs in those bushes. Look out.
I'm not for coming down hard on because you know why? Because I can see myself in this same situation. I could definitely see that. And you don't want to hold your urine. That could be a big problem.
Just go, man. Just go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you everyone for hanging out on the Saturday show. You can go to obdmpod.com or ourbigdumbmouth.com. Do not go to the merch links. We're not selling any official merch right now.
Just delete that link from.
I'm gonna probably just redo the entire website.
Well, I'd say short term, just delete that button.
Yeah, I got it. So Sunday is my day to do development and updates. So tomorrow, try to get in there and make some updates.
Yes.
And for anybody who wants to submit stories, there's plenty of avenues. You can email at ourbigdumbmouth@gmail.com or the Discord. You can submit stories and links in there, or Patreon DM. Plenty of ways. If you guys got ideas for stories, news, or things you want to hear or us to touch on, we're listening. And let's see here. Those are the announcements.
Well, and for those of you who do want to interact with Joe, he's very busy with this new job. He is in the Discord a couple of times a week. So
if you tag him, he'll get back to you.
Yeah, he has, he posts in there pretty regularly. Not as much as he used to because he's so busy, but he's still in there. So if you want your Joe fix, join the Discord.
Yeah. You might get that.
What he says.
You might get that out of him, but.
Well, so what I liked about the Pooh movie is that it was a new movie.
Yeah.
It's that Pooh movie.
Such low-hanging fruit for the dummies.
It is true.
Well, the only explanation I can come up with is they're using the cows for fuel.
That is true.
You have the interdimensional one?
Oh, yeah, I will right here.
Yeah, they turned the cows inside out so that they could go across dimensions. It makes nothing but sense.
Well, thank you, Gretchen. Thank you, everyone. Shab Lagoo.
Keep watching the skis. There's dudes who need to take a leak.
And I don't listen to women yelling. I tell them to shut up.
Hey, kid. Would you like some drugs?
You know what I'm saying? That's only in the morning.
That's about all.
Shablagu. Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.
Until next week. Nanu. Nanu.
This is not going well.